This is starting. I think we're starting.
We're starting.
That's how it starts.
Push it with your dick, dude.
It worked! I am Ray Taylor. I clearly don't have a regular job.
I was never really into comic books growing up. Like, I was a geek.
Well, you should tell your face that, because you look exactly like
I do.
Watch the fights.
Fuck yeah, I watch the fights.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
I watch every kind of pornography.
I said,
all right, to counteract my cancer that I'm giving myself, I smoke weed after every cigarette.
What were we just fucking talking about? And this is the Inspired Disorder Podcast. I'm not going to allow you to have an opinion on this just because you're wrong.
Is anyone else's podcast about, like, jerking off in UFC?
That's what we look like when we jerk off, people. Hi, how you doing, everybody? We're doing a fight talk. There was a card in Brazil.
You can't tell by the goofy hat.
Yeah, I don't wear this shit for fun. I wear it,
and the trophy.
I wear it because I'm contractually obligated due to the stipulations brought to us by the picks that we made in our last episode, our last fight talk episode, for UFC 212.
Let's talk about it.
Which was a fun card. I thought it was a pretty fun card. Maybe most entertaining card of the year so far. Maybe. I mean, there was that one.
I would have to go back and look through them all
because there's just a lot of stinkers. I mean, the last pay-per-view, I think it was a pay-per-view. Was pretty well. The Gustafsson to Sheriff card was pretty good, but pretty good card. Not really any stinkers offhand that I can think of. But we're talking about UFC 212 this past Saturday, June 3rd, 2017. Aldo versus Holloway from Rio de Janeiro.
Brazil.
The interim belt holder versus the interim belt holder that was given the real belt for no reason. Because they can't have two interim belts. It's like, well, you won the belt against Frankie, so you got an interim belt. But
Connor's never coming back, so you're the champ.
I mean,
then there has to be an interim fight because you didn't fight for a while.
You never know if he doesn't. But yeah, it was a fake belt. Two interim belts, basically. But anyway, let's get into it. Starting with the Fight Pass prelims. Marco Beltran versus Davison Figueiredo. And this one, TKO.
It's pretty quick.
Was this? It just didn't. They didn't. Did it not start round two?
Didn't start the round two.
Right. So it was at the end of round one. He was.
Because he got dropped.
Although it couldn't have been, because there's over 6 minutes. There's almost 7 minutes of. So it had to have been between round two.
Yeah,
and,
no. It was at the end of round two.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Good way to start. Your fights
UFC
with
career?
a finish. That too. All right.
Yeah. So you had Beltran. I got the win with Figueiredo.
So moving on to the next fight, Jim Wallhead versus Luan Chagas, and I think I had Wallhead.
I picked Chagas in this one, and Chagas was throwing some heat.
Pretty dominant. I mean, it was he was picking his shots. He was very, very sparse between his strikes. He didn't waste. I mean, his 61% versus 20%, so he landed most of what he threw. Yeah, and then Wallhead just ended up being a submission. Let's see, what was it? Rear naked choke.
Yeah, Wallhead
just stretched him out.
He looked all right. I mean, he's a crafty vet. He looked all right for a while, but Chagas is dangerous.
Yeah, Chagas' biggest thing is gassing out, and he didn't. I mean, he was patient, calm his whole time. That he didn't gas himself out. He paced himself well.
Oh, Chags.
Alrighty, so that moves us on to the feature bout and the first female bout of two finishes so far.
It moves me up to 2-0.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good about this bet so far.
Yeah, up until this fight started. And Vivian Pereira versus Jamie Moyle. And it pretty much looked like somebody that's ready for the UFC versus somebody that's, probably does a lot of Invicta fights.
Yeah, this was kind of a bully beatdown.
It was pretty one-sided.
I mean,
Moyle
was
couldn't
trying.
do shit. Like, the commentary the whole time was like, oh, she's going to take her down, she's going to take her down, she's going to take her down. But
like,
never,
tried 2 shots. One was from, 8 foot away.
Only one takedown. It was that shitty one from far, far off.
Yeah.
But yeah, they kept saying that she was going to, so I guess that's what
Pereira
she's done in her previous
sharp.
fights.
Oh,
yeah.
Good on her.
She looked good for, 115, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's 115,
how tiny
but
they were.
She's super short.
Yeah.
Which,
But fucking, she was sharp and she was able to get in, no problem.
Yeah.
That could be
great.
Her boxing mixed with Moyle's inability to defend. She just looked slow.
Yeah.
Moyle, just not sharp at all. Good win for Pereira, though. It did go to a decision, so she wasn't able to finish the fight. But it was a dominant.
Oh yeah, by
it
far.
was a dominant win.
And you picked
so
Pereira
that gives
on
me
that
my
one.
first win. Moving on to the FS1 prelims, starting off with motherfucker
Who's that?
Yuri Alcantara versus this new guy. What the fuck is going on here?
They don't want us
UFC's
to...
website's like, no, don't look.
No, Alcantara.
It's disappointing. It was a new guy, Kelleher. First name Brian Kelleher versus Yuri Alcantara. Kelleher, first time in the UFC. Really tough test. I think it was a short notice.
Alcantara ranked 13.
Fill-in. Yeah. Dangerous vet, been in the UFC forever. But Kelleher snuck in like a super quick guillotine. Just
so tight.
Super quick tap.
Yeah, I was...
super quick.
I was like, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looked
and then...
pretty first round finish, but he looked good on his feet,
He
too.
looked good.
He didn't look... For
Said he
being
wasn't
his
nervous
first
at
time,
all?
Yeah.
Which, I don't believe you, but...
He could have been.
Maybe.
You never know.
Then he told the crowd pretty much to go fuck themselves, which was kind of funny. And then they booed so loud, he had to scream into the mic to even get...
To get out. He did good, though. He called out what he wants. He
did.
Fucking, he did all the things that, you should
noticed.
do at the end of a fight to, move ahead instead of just, I'll just fight whoever they put in front of me.
I just want
It's I've got a plan with my career. I know what I want to do, and I'm going to let you know, and I'm going to try and sell it. But, yeah, good quick win for Kelleher. Interesting to see him next.
So that ties
In
it
the
up
mix.
at 2-2 because I had Alcantara.
At bantamweight. So moving on to the next fight, Matthew Lopez versus Johnny Eduardo, and this was another first round. Pretty quick. It was pretty one-sided.
Eduardo went for a heel hook.
Oh yeah, they spent
And just
He
decided not to let go
Yeah.
while Lopez was like, this hurts, but I can punch you in the face really hard. And he's like, oh, go for it. He goes, okay. And just hammer fisted the fuck
and they
out
were
of his head.
good
Oh, fuck.
hammer fists
Yeah, they
and
went-
stuff. It wasn't like the pity pat stuff
No, this
that
was-
guys do.
Slamming down.
Yeah, they were connecting.
And then after a while, you just couldn't take any more. Great win on Lopez.
Yeah.
He's probably going to have surgery on his fucking knee after that heel hook. But
Yeah. Whatever.
you still got the win.
Yeah.
You got your win bonus to pay for
It's
your
like,
surgery.
could have been a concussion.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're just going to lose your mind later on in life. So moving on to Antonio Carlos Jr., Shoeface,
don't
Karate
bother me.
Sabat versus Eric Spicely. Not enough Shoefaces to warrant a supercut, but there was some thrown in there.
And
both
this one
Portuguese
also,
and-
the first round, they spent the majority of the round in the 50-50 position, both holding a heel hook.
Yeah,
It looked like
they weren't really going for. It was just that neither one could get any.
it was just stuck.
Eventually, Junior got on top and was able to. And I think it stood
It
up.
just got stood up.
But they weren't going for a heel hook. They had nothing in.
They both tried it quite a few times, but they were
Yeah.
just stuck in that position.
Unlike the other one that was a legit.
Oh, yeah,
he
that
was-
other guy had it
These
in.
guys were in kind of just a neutral position for a lot of the fight, which was kind of weird. But then he ended up getting the rear naked choke and just choking the fuck out of him.
Yeah, it was a pretty dominant.
Which is kind of what he's been doing since he started winning in the UFC, he started just choking the fuck out of people.
And I picked Shoeface in that one, so now it's 4-2.
Yep. I for sure would have taken Shoeface in that one, too. So moving on to the feature bout of the FS1 prelims. Rafael Assunção versus Marlon Moraes, coming over from one, right? No, World Series.
No, World Series, I believe, yeah.
And he looked good. He just got kicked in the nuts a lot and didn't, not until like the 5th time did he start complaining about it. Like
he's like, no, I'm
the
good.
first nut
no, I'm
kick,
good.
he's like, let's just keep this going.
And then
let's
after
keep
that,
this
he's
going.
like, bro,
yeah,
for real, stop kicking
which is
me in the
kind of
dick.
like a shitty ref, but also like, if you get kicked in the nuts, maybe say something about it.
Take a breather.
See something, say something. Yeah, it's like it's not like it was Assunção was gassing out and he was afraid that he was first round.
Now this fight was really close,
really active fight too.
Yeah,
yeah.
But Assunção won, and I thought it was pretty
complete stand-up. Fight too.
I thought Assunção won. Like you had picked Assunção.
It was a close fight though.
Yeah.
It was like it.
Well, the numbers are almost deadlocked.
Yeah, yeah.
But Assunção just edged him out.
Yeah. I think he hit him. I mean, I guess everything's pretty much the same. But yeah, good fight. Interesting to see Moraes next. I mean, if he was at all had octagon jitters, like that would be crazy to see. He's just going to steamroll through a bunch of people.
Yeah,
because he looks great.
Yeah, he still looked great.
He's like easily. Assunção, what was he? He was 6'3".
3.
So it's like he's top 5.
Yeah.
It's like a shortcut to top 5. Didn't have to work his way up, but it's legitimate. So that was the feature bout for our. So where are we at moving before we go into the?
I'm winning 4-3 on that
Right.
one with Medeiros Silva up next.
So the first fight of the pay-per-view: Eric Silva versus Yancy Medeiros, and
now I picked Silva in this one with Medeiros having just gone up to 170, this being in Brazil.
I think this is his second fight at
Yeah,
170.
it was his second, but I thought it was his first.
Right.
But
it was kind of a back and forth first round. They both, one of the punches that looked like it kind of dropped Silva kind of didn't really look like it hit connected really. It kind of just looked like it went behind. It could have clipped him and, just lost his
equilibrium.
Yeah. But it was kind of a back and forth first round, but then second round,
he got all Yancey in his pantsy and fucking
connected.
It was a
stops.
right cross left hook.
It was
and
like
the left hook hit him right in the mouth.
It was the left that put him down.
But it was a
sure.
it was a square shot right to the grill.
Maybe early stoppage because when he put it down, it's like shit, like almost walked
then
away.
He started to hug up, and then the ref got in the middle of it.
Well, he recovered right away, so Medeiros had to go follow through on it, and then. He connected a few, and then the ref stopped it. So, not crazy early stoppage.
I wasn't outraged, but it was a little early.
Yeah. But good win for Medeiros. Trains with Max Holloway.
And I picked Silva. So now we're all tied up again. 4-4. We keep going 2 for 2. I won the first 2. You won the second 2. I won.
So moving on to Aulloway Bamboshe versus Paulo Borrachinha. I think that's the best I'm going to do with those names. Aulloway hasn't been doing very well in the UFC. I think he may have won 1 fight out of 3 or something like that.
6-3 total as a pro.
Yeah. And totally gassed himself out.
Oh, he went
throwing hard
He went balls
hard
to
shots.
the wall for.
So that was his 4th fight. He's only won.
He's 1 for 4.
1, yeah. So probably won't be around for much longer.
Like ever again in the UFC.
Fucking you never know. Sometimes people stick around for some reason. Then Borrachinha just kind of turned it up.
Borrachinha?
In the kind of the end of the first round.
Where he started ripping to the body.
Yeah.
And you could tell Bambose was just gassed out. He went back to his corner and was just
He's all
dying
wobbled
for air.
out.
Then came out and
He
had a
was
little
grooving.
flurry in the second, and I was
Kinda.
like, and they were like, maybe he's getting a second win,
Yeah.
and then he slipped throwing a kick,
Yeah, which he did in the first round too.
but then Bohachino just jumped on him and
Yeah.
just never let him
I mean,
go. He just,
Bambuse was just gassed.
Yeah.
I mean, although Borchino was not super crisp in the second
No,
round
he
either.
looked
He
a
was
little
starting
slow.
to gas too.
He
So
looked
it's
a little
like
slow.
like him in future fights, beast for sure, but cardio suspect as
Is he
fuck.
too big for 185? He's fucking huge. Like, or looks, at least looked ripped huge.
Yeah, I mean they were both large dudes.
But, yeah, but
Bambose
Bambose is
a little
only
bit more
5'11".
exaggerate. Yeah,
Bohachino is 6'2".
yeah.
So
But he
that's-
was a solid. They were big boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean both of them horrible cardio.
Yeah.
But good win for Paulo Borrachina, and that was a win for you.
Yeah, so...
Which is trends, you're going to get another 2, and then I'm
then
going to get
you
the
win the
last
last 2, and then we'd be
that's-
tied.
And then there you go. And that's why I'm not wearing the hat right now, because we tied. So moving on to the next fight in the main card. Paulo, go fuck yourself. Get out of here. Vitor Belfort versus Nate Marquardt. And this was supposed to be Vitor Belfort's retirement fight, but he has another fight in contract and said that he wants to fight like 5 more times.
Yeah.
So it was like the most retirement fight that I've ever seen. Usually you'll see like even Rumble after the Gustafsson fight was said he was itching to.
Now here's a classic
fight.
one of a fight being way closer than the numbers look like. Because if you just went by the numbers, you'd be like, what the fuck?
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
It happens. Because it's like, okay, you have more strikes, but it's like, how did he get those strikes? Were they like little ground and pound pity tap things, or were they like he connected on a kick to the face, but it was like his toes.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a hard kick. So it's,
But this one
so numbers can be.
But by all
Watching
means,
the fight,
Nate Marquardt could have won
and
the
that
fight,
could have been,
and I wouldn't have
and
been.
a lot of those could have been
outraged
in
either.
the first round where he did the most work.
Yeah.
And then Belfort for sure won the last round. Second round suspect.
Yeah.
But I thought Belfort won it, especially watching it the second time.
I did not think he won the first round.
No, but for sure he won the. I thought he won the fight. I wasn't surprised with. It was close though.
It was close.
It was a close
Like
fight.
I said, it could have went either way. I picked
'Cause
Belfort.
it did go back and forth.
I picked Belfort, and Belfort got the nod, but it wasn't Brazil, so
Yeah, it wasn't Brazil, but it wasn't like that.
It wasn't
It wasn't
outrageous.
like crazy. It's like,
No.
oh, that's why he got it. Clearly, unless you're a huge Marquardt fan, Big Brown, I see you. But good fight for both of them. I mean, their chins held up because they were connecting on shit. You know,
they wouldn't.
It wasn't
nothing
a super active
nothing
fight.
connected flush, and we even both
Well,
said
it
that
was
right
like-
after the fight.
Yeah, but they threw a lot of shit, and a lot of it was glancing, but stuff connected. It's not like it was a fight of like nothing connecting. But
this
I mean,
to me was a boring fight.
It was two old guys that have suspect chins, have been knocked out, pretty recently. Although Marquardt's kind of had more of an upward trajectory with his career. But it was like, as far as like two old motherfuckers that have, may or may not should be fighting still. Way better than anything Bellator's putting on with their old senior leagues.
Nate's only 2
Like-
years younger than Vitor.
Yeah. But they both have like
The
a
same amount of
bazillion
fights, yeah. They're both hovering around
they've
like
been around
40 some
forever.
fights, 50 fights.
Yeah. And Marquardt looks good at that weight. I mean, I don't know. If they want to keep
Marquardt
fighting,
still looks
they
muscular.
weren't horrible.
Vitor
Yeah.
looks like someone is slowly sucking everything out of him.
Vitor looks like he's like an athletic dad bod is what he has. He's a dad that goes like water skiing and surfing, and like he's super active, but he's a dad. He's got saggy skin, dad, and he used to be like 3 times the size.
True.
He's like those obese dudes that lose all the weight and they just have hanging skin everywhere. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good matchup for these two.
It was a good matchup, I'll say
because
that.
they're not
Good fight.
they're not going on a run to get a belt anywhere.
It was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't horrible, but yeah, it wasn't It wasn't lighting shit on fire.
It wasn't screaming at the TV.
No. Oh, there were some flurries. I mean, when I was watching it last night, anyway, because it's like with either of those guys, they could go down. I mean, it could just be the end of their life. You never know. Claudia Gadelha versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz, which is co-main event. Number 1 contender
versus number 2
spot. Oh, I mean, I think Rose is probably
supposed
fighting
to get the next title
Joanna.
shot, but this is
Which
number
I'm
1,
fine
number
with.
2.
Yeah.
They're the last 2 that both fought the
So
champ
whoever
and lost.
So probably Gadelha, whoever wins, Rose, Joanna, unless something falls through with that fight. I thought it was going to be a lot more competitive, this fight.
Yes, I did too. Well, and it was. Wait, until what happened, it was a good back and forth.
For like a minute, it was a good back and forth.
Yeah.
It was a 2-minute fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, for
It was a 3-minute fight, I think.
For a minute, it's like Aldo really had some good footwork before Conor McGregor knocked him out. It's like he knocked him the fuck out pretty quick. This was a pretty quick finish. Pretty dominant kind of an end.
No, it was straight domination, but still, when it was on the feet
Yeah,
before it went down.
I mean, Kowalkiewicz is a great striker.
But she made
it was the wrestling, the grappling.
Claudia grabbed her by the body and did the takedown she always does,
which is
just like a body lock takedown.
She's like the only female fighter that has like anything but the head toss fucking takedown. Like, it's like the only takedown a lot of female fighters know. She has like, it's like just a misdirection kind of trip takedown. Super good.
Made a big mistake, and she gave her back.
Well, she tried to stand up, and
she turned the wrong way.
Stupid.
She should have turned into her instead of away, and instantly it was.
And Gadelha wasn't looking to stand back up. She was on her like fucking in Anaconda. She was doing her best Damian Maia impression. Just trying to stay glued to her. And she gave her a neck and it was once it locked in, it was tight as it was deep
it was
as shit.
instant under the chin. You're going to sleep.
So
she flailed for 2
great
seconds.
win for Gadelha. Kowalkiewicz, minor. I mean, just fucking stop. Just you need to tighten up your fucking your grappling.
Yeah,
and
before
defense.
this fight started, I pointed out that between the two of them, they have 3 combined losses, and all of them
are from Joanna. Yeah.
Are from Joanna. Gadelha's lost twice.
Yeah.
Kowalkiewicz lost once, but now she has a second loss. Obviously.
Yeah, and I'm totally fine. Out of all the like championship fights that we've seen, where it's like there's a weak division and they keep
and there has to be a
rematching
a
after rematching after rematching. Like, this is the only one I've ever been excited for, really, except for maybe Frankie Edgar, Aldo too. But after seeing that, it's like, oh, he's just got his card, man. I don't know what Frankie would have to do. He'd have to like, I don't know. But good win for Gadelha, quick win, rear naked choke.
You had Kowalkiewicz.
Yep. So that
cemented
breaks.
the win for me.
Yeah, which is fine because now I can root for the guy I wanted to win, which I just didn't get the opportunity to pick for the main event of UFC 212, Jose Aldo versus Max Holloway. We have not seen Jose Aldo since his fight with Conor McGregor. No, we did. Frankie Edgar. And he did look good.
He looked
against
great
a
in
guy
that fight.
he looks good against generally. And then Holloway's just been on a fucking tear.
11 in a row.
Tear. And Aldo, like, after the him getting knocked out, he was just became like a lot of fighters, just like, wah, gimme, man, I'm gonna go do another sport. I hate you guys. Pay me money. It's like, be a draw. Like, why would a company just pay you money if you're not selling, like, it's not like, I mean, Max Holloway's exciting, but this shit didn't break any fucking records on pay-per-view, you know? I'm sure it did great in the live ticket sales. I'm sure they broke records there, and I'm sure
a lot
it
of
did
Brazilians bought this
I'm sure
card,
it did
though.
well, but yeah, that's not American pay-per-view dollars. I mean, pay-per-view in Brazil is probably cheaper than the U.S. anyway, so they make more if a U.S. person buys a pay-per-view than they do other countries.
Sure.
No, literally, it's cheaper to buy. I know this.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
But yeah. Anyway, main event. The greatest of all time, or was... He was on a run for a long time, but it kind of seems like...
Hadn't lost in 10 years before his McGregor loss.
Yeah.
Comes back, looks great against Frankie.
I'm sure he could still be in the top. I mean, he didn't look bad. He looked great.
He won the first 2 rounds.
Second round, maybe not. Because
Second
Max
round,
Holloway
Max came
started
on a little
turning
bit
on.
late.
He started to turn it on, but here's the thing. The thing that the commentators and the fight companions, like, similar to the other chick where it's like, oh, takedown. It's like,
he didn't
no
throw
leg
one
kicks.
leg
Yeah.
kick.
So it's like he goes in.
Which is his biggest weapon in most fights.
Mm-hmm.
It's what stops a guy from coming in all the time, slows him down. And with Max
But he
being
was
a long,
winning on his-
spindly guy,
Yeah.
I would have thought for sure, with as close as they were fighting, unless something, maybe he hurt his foot the day before or something. I don't fucking know, but
Whatever. He was doing good on just using his hands. So
He was.
for whatever reason, he didn't want to kick, and it didn't help him. I mean, he like got hit with a lot of punches in like less than 3 rounds. Like it didn't even get into the championship
those were
rounds.
like all in the 3rd round.
If
for the
if
most
it had
part.
gone into the championship rounds, it would have been a devastating loss for Aldo.
Yeah.
Because once he started getting clipped, he started getting a little bit tired, and he started missing. And Holloway was just like, "Oh, I'm not even scared of your punches anymore, bro."
Yeah, once he dropped him, it was over.
Yeah.
And
But super dumb. I mean, no question did Max Holloway just destroy Aldo. Like Aldo may have won the first round. I mean, he won the first round, but may have won the second round. But that was it.
Yeah.
It was a
and in the 3rd
progression
round,
of
he just
loss.
got beat up.
The more Holloway turned up, the more evident it was that Aldo just wasn't gonna be around. But good win. Holloway's like during the press conference is like, I don't give a fuck about super fights. I'm gonna defend my fucking throne. So if any of you pussies want to come here and try and take my throne, come at me. He's like, unlike all these other fucking prima donna champions,
I want 8 belts.
This is my legacy. I just got the belt, so now I have to worry about my legacy. It's like, motherfucker, do you know what division you're in? GSP dominated his career. That's why he has a legacy. Not because he got the belt from fucking Matt Hughes, and then he's like, I just want to do super fights.
Well,
Fucking
if he would have just got the belt from Matt Hughes and then lost it to Matt Serra, there would be no legacy. But he came back from
But
adversity.
here's the thing. He lost to Matt
Beat
Hughes.
the
His
fuck-
first
yeah.
time getting the belt. Came back, defended that loss.
Well, that fight was for an open belt
Yep, still.
because
but
BJ had to.
he was nervous fighting him, and that's why he lost the first time.
because that was his idol.
Came back, his only loss, first loss, came back, defeated him, dominated him, and then got caught by Matt Serra, had to fight
Yeah, he didn't just get an immediate
he
rematch.
had to fight not Hendricks, the fucking asshole with the bleached hair. Koscheck. He had to fight Koscheck and then just destroyed Serra in the rematch. His only 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's one thing, like Conor McGregor lost, went back, defended his loss. No tarnish to his record. Same thing with GSP. That's a legacy.
Yeah.
Getting a belt and then whining that you're not getting fucking, super fights. That's just a whiny bitch that wants money. He thinks he's in a position for a money grab, and he doesn't even. It's like, it's insulting almost to the people that have legacies in the UFC, especially in that division. I mean, it's like, come on, man. This is like Aldo. He had a legacy.
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
undefeated, dominant performances up until
Was
McGregor
the only
and Holloway.
featherweight champion that ever existed up until McGregor beat him.
Yeah, he was the first one. Yeah. Yep. And now Holloway. And I don't know. Definitely wouldn't mind a rematch with Aldo at some point. Not an immediate rematch. Love to see Frankie Edgar fight since he's been winning.
There's
only
a lot
loss
of guys
he
at
has.
45.
Yeah, but I mean, for Frankie Edgar, I just think that'd be a great fight. We haven't seen Max Holloway fight him yet. It'd be, good matchup. Max has beaten so many people in that division, so it can't be too many that he hasn't beaten already. But yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. And he's only
champ-
25.
A champion that's not good. Yeah, exactly.
He's
Same thing with like John Jones when he was a young champ. He was like he beat legends.
Yeah.
It was just destroyed.
He was
people.
the legend slayer for a while.
The legitimate, not like they're all in retirement.
Not
legend
like the
slayer.
Kevin Gastelum.
Yeah, the fucking I just want to beat up old people that aren't doing steroids anymore. So that was the card. Pretty fun card. I enjoyed it. As a whole card, the Marcourt Belfort fight kind of a stinker.
Yep.
Not horrible, but kind of a stinker.
What would be your fight of the night? I know none of them said fight of the night.
Well, I know what got fight of the night.
What did get fight of the night?
ALDO Holloway. Which I agree with, because that was like...
So even if,
it was a good
if we
swing.
would have tied, I would have won. Well, because...
Yeah. But, yeah, so if it went to a tie, then, yeah, it would have gone to... Yeah. Although, if it would have tied and ALDO won the fight,
So you would have...
it may not have been fight of the night.
And I wouldn't have got to pick that, because you would have picked Aldo.
No, I'm just saying if last night ALDO won it to tie it up for me, like, it may have been a completely different fight. It may not have been fight of the night.
True.
You know? Because, yeah, the fact that Holloway kind of came back or turned it up.
Who got Marnies from that?
I want to say the kid that came in, Kettner and Gedalia, I think. I'm pretty sure.
That seems legit.
Because Gedalia is super dominant, quick
Yeah.
submission, and then this dude like coming in out of nowhere. I'm pretty sure those were the people that got
I'm good with that.
bonuses. But yeah.
But
Other than that, like the other fight of the night, like my favorite fight of the night, I mean the Moraes Alcantara fight was fun. It was a good competitive fight.
Moraes to Sunsao.
Yeah, Moraes to Sunsao. It was fun. I liked the first time I watched the Silva Medeiros fight. I liked a lot more than the second.
Yeah, wasn't that
It
great?
was way more of a because I was like fucking invested and drunk.
Yeah.
So it's like I needed Medeiros. I think I had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I needed him to win, and he got clipped, and was like, it was dramatic for me watching it, but then watching it again, it's like,
And
oh,
I
it
missed
wasn't
most of
bad.
that because I was
Yeah.
bullshitting in the alley.
But yes, it was fun card. So moving on, well, before we move on to the next card, make our picks for the next fight, go to our Patreon page, patreon.com/inspired disorder. Donate $1 a month or more. There are perks if you want to donate more. And help support this podcast and a lot of other things. Go check it all out. Patreon.com/inspired disorder. Moving on to next Saturday, June 10th, UFC Fight Night. Derek Lewis versus Mark Hunt from Auckland, New Zealand. So Derek Lewis, once again, going on the fucking road to go beat up another heavyweight.
In his home country.
Very far, far away. Yeah. Mark Hunt, kind of on a little slope. Oh, but you, since you won, you get to choose who goes first to pick. It's an FS1 card with 2 fights on the early prelims. Is that 12 fights?
I'll go first.
All right. So starting off with the... let me get this switched over to... the UFC Fight Pass early prelims. All right. So first fight.
Maybe.
Dong Young Kim versus T-Balt Goatee. GT versus the Maestro, the other Dong Young Kim. You said you were going first?
Yep.
All right.
And I fucking hate going with the Frenchman. But I'm going with the Frenchman.
All right. I'm good with that. I don't know. I think Kim maybe lost his first fight, then won his last fight. I can't remember, but I remember good things. It's been a while since we've seen him. the Maestro. Seems like we saw him twice last year. So the feature bout for the Fight Pass prelims: JJ Aldrich versus Chan Mi Jeong.
Chan Mi Jeong
Versus, from South Korea.
Jesus, that girl looks Irish as fuck, even though she's from the United States.
It doesn't.
But, I mean, the green helps, but...
That's people from Ireland help populate the United States, so she could be Irish as fuck.
I understand this.
She could be, both of her parents could be Catholic Irish and Irish Catholic, and fucking... She has 30 siblings.
Her fight
and
picture
fucking,
should be the fighting Irish stance.
Yeah. She should sell sunscreen, guaranteed.
She needs
go
it.
through gallons of them. I'll go with JJ, just because she's been in the UFC at least once. Versus Chan Mi. I don't know where she's fought from. Maybe Invicta. Maybe somewhere. Maybe she fights out of South Korea. Seems like there's going to be a lot of fighters from that.
That's
very close to.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
It's way closer than we are.
Way, way closer. Which that's probably not a good thing that I went with the person that's got to fly farther. So starting off the first FS1 prelim fight is Kichi Kunimoto versus Zach Otto. It's been a while since we've seen Zach Otto.
Zach Otto came in originally as a late replacement and kicked some fucking ass. I picked against
Seems like
him.
we've seen Kunimoto before too.
Why does he look like a bronze statue in that picture?
Yeah, he looks because of his hair. The dyed hair makes it look like that.
It's weird.
Yep. Is this me?
No, it's me.
Okay.
And I'm going Zach Otto.
All right, I'm good with that. For the same reason, I'm kind of regretting my last pick. The fact that, I mean, if they fly early, then they'll probably be fine. But I would imagine anybody that's taken that trip, close to the day of the fight is probably going to be hurting.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure there's fighters that are like, fuck it, I don't care, I could do it. Like, fuck Cain Velasquez, like, oh, I'm good enough. I train at
I'm
AKA.
Mexican.
I don't need to worry about
I'm Mexican.
an
I don't need
altitude
to worry about
higher
Mexico
than Denver.
City.
Yeah. John Moraga versus Ashkan Mokhtarian, the assassin. Shadow Man from nowhere, the assassin. 13-1. Is this me?
Yep.
Motherfucker. I mean, instantly I want to go Moraga because I don't know who the fuck this guy is, and I'm not a fan of his name. I'm sure once I hear it, like J-Check, can go fuck itself if you want to try and read that. Man, and I've seen Moraga, but I don't think he's done horribly well.
He got to fight for the belt once.
Okay.
But everyone in 125's got to fight for the belt once.
Yeah. Some people multiple times. He might have been on the show, maybe. The other guy. I wish I knew where he was from.
I'm glad
that would help.
I'm glad he's got a unique name like the Assassin, though.
Yes, definitely helps with not confusing him with the other nicknames. I guess I'll go Moraga. Just for UFC experience. All right, so moving on to the next FS1 prelim fight. Luke Gemwa versus Dominique Steele. Non-stop, action-packed, Dom T. Dominique Steele.
Man, Dominic Steele is not having a great UFC run.
He's got, as far as like dudes that have a 14-8 record, that's pretty rare, and you're in the UFC.
He's strong as shit, though. But
he's a guy that I could see going, I'll be fine, dude. I'll just fly in a couple days before. I don't want to spend that much time.
He trains
there.
out of Ohio or close to there because my buddy from back
Cleveland?
in Ohio trains with him.
Yeah.
In the Columbus area.
Oh.
So, but I mean,
a lot of big gyms out that way.
There's a decent gym in Columbus and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
Stipe
Stipe's
works at
not a big gym.
Cleveland. No, that's not a big gym.
I don't really know of any big gym in Ohio. I'm sure there's gyms out there.
Oh, and Rich Franklin's gym that him and
don't hear any of those guys.
None anymore.
Nobody trains in that gym. Yeah, I remember that, but that was like a decade ago.
Against an 11 and I don't know. I like Dominique Steele. I'm going with him.
Yeah, I'd probably go with him too. But who knows? All right, feature bout for the FS1 preliminary fights. Damian Brown versus Vink Pichel from Hell. Pickle. Well, you got a hometown guy in Damian Brown versus U.S. from Hell. So maybe like the desert somewhere, maybe like Indio. I don't know. Good record though, 9-1 versus an experienced vet from Australia, where they're known to eat some punches in bunches. I think I'll go Damian Brown.
Oh, shit. I'm all right with that.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Just feels more comfortable. All right, so that's the feature bout for the FS1 prelim fights. Now moving on to the FS1 main card. Alexander Volkanovski versus Mizuto Hirota. I have like seizures at the end of reading all these goddamn names.
I gotta go Volkanovski.
Yeah. I'm alright with that. For show, they're still like both close range, so travel's probably not going to be an issue. Hirota's got some experience.
Losing.
He's fucking had more wins than your dude, too. And more draws. He's experienced it all.
He's got a lot of draws.
He's got experience.
But he has no experience submitting a guy.
Exactly. He don't fuck around. It's like he could have submitted somebody. It was a draw.
Got his ass beat.
What he did in those two draws, he choked somebody out and then just decided to go to sleep because fucking choking people out is boring to him. It's like, it's a draw. We both fall asleep. All right, cool. Next fight. Ooh, is this me?
Yeah.
Sweet. Tim Elliott all day versus Ben Wynn. I like Ben Wynn, but Tim Elliott's like, he was, great against DJ. I watched his fights on the show. Pretty good. I think his last fight, he wasn't that great. He wasn't as like,
but he was still
dynamic.
Warning,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm good with Tim Elliott on that one. All right. Ooh, fucking nipples. Ion like Zion in Lion Cutelaba versus Henrique da Silva.
I'm going to Silva.
Damn it. Although I'm good with the Hulk, man. Nipples
I like
got power.
Cutelaba, but I just think that da Silva is going to fuck him up.
He's just got to weather it and just... I think Cutelaba's he gasses himself out. Fucking, although they both,
but this is kind of a don't blink type of fight, where
which could be boring as fuck.
Could be.
There's been so many fights where they're like, "Don't blink," and then it's just like neither people engage.
Silva
it goes
is
to
never
decision.
going to a decision, and Cutelaba seems like he's done it maybe once.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm good with that. Faux show, fight of the night probably, or maybe not. Dan Hooker. Dirty Slut, Dan Hooker versus Ross Pearson.
This is you.
This one, I'm going with Dan Hooker.
The Dirty Hooker.
Yep. Ross Pearson.
I'm all right with
Love
that.
Ross Pearson, but he is getting long in the tooth in this game and hasn't looked great in his last fights, whether he's won or lost, which I think is kind of a mixed bag.
He's been losing a lot lately.
He's an older dude, and I think this is one of the UFC fights where it's like, oh, we'll put this new up-and-comer against kind of somebody's on the backslide.
We've seen Hooker a few times, though, and he's got a spotty record.
Sure. But that doesn't, he could turn it around. I mean, fucking Pearson's not got a shining fucking glowing record either, so they're both they win about twice as much as they lose. But that's not very good. All right, so moving on to the co-main event of the evening, Derek Brunson versus the man that will not be denied, Dan Kelly, the old man that somehow seems to always win, versus Derek Brunson. Looked like shit against Anderson Silva, and then he doesn't always show up.
I agree.
Doesn't always show up.
But he's gonna beat the shit out of Dan
totally
Kelly.
Good. Here's the thing. I probably would have gone with Brunson too,
and been upset.
But I
when
could totally see Kelly winning
Kelly
this.
win it, but I don't think he's gonna.
Because I think I picked Kelly last time because he's the fucking man.
He is the man.
Totally,
I like
he's
Dan
at home
Kelly.
too, so that helps him. And I think that's just when he fights, when they go to Australia.
It's pretty much it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good with that. Because Brunson may
He's
just not
too
show
old
up.
to fly on planes. His knees will explode.
Yeah. Well, and it's like he doesn't need to fight that much. Fights, once a year, twice a year.
And
However
this
long
is
they
your
go
choice?
Oh, this one's. I'll go Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis versus Mark Hunt. I mean, heavyweight could for sure go either way. Derek Lewis has been looking better in every fight, I think. Taking on harder competition. And Hunt's just kind of, chinny.
Always one punch away from knocking anyone out.
Chinny, bang, bang. Been a while since he's had a walk-off knockoff.
Walk-off knockoff?
It's been a while. He's known for it, but it's been a while. He's been the one getting finished recently. But yeah, I'm totally good with Derek Lewis. And Mark Hunt might be his last fight. I know it's probably coming close to, and he hates fucking working for the UFC, so it's not like he's, aside from
he's
getting
going
paid,
to Ryzen and making some money for a couple fights after this.
If he goes to Ryzen, he needs to stop complaining about juiced fighters, because they don't have the testing that they have, so he's going to go fight cheaters there too.
Yeah.
More so than the UFC. All right, so starting from the bottom,
I got Gowdy.
I got Aldrich.
I got Otto.
I got Moraga.
I got Dominic Steele.
I got Brown.
I got Volkanovski.
I got Tim Elliott.
I got De Silva.
I got Dirty fucking Hooker.
I got the Brunson.
And I got Derek, the Black Beast, Lewis from Houston, Texas.
Tejas.
The man, the myth, the legend, the up-and-comer heavyweight, which will probably be fighting Ngannou soon, I'm sure. But yeah, I imagine this is going to be a fun fight.
I hope it is.
They're going to a location they only go to like once a year. They don't take the UFC maybe twice a year. But, they'll do probably a pay-per-view there and then like one of these types of cards.
They usually do it in Australia.
Yeah.
New Zealand every once
in
a while.
It's a FS1, so it's probably a smaller venue. Like they go to that huge fucking arena. And they like it was the Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, that was Australia.
They'll do huge fights there. Should be good. Hopefully, I'm excited. And I think this be a while before we have a break, which is fine because I kind of missed having the fights on the weekends.
Yeah.
All right, people. That's it. That's our show. Thank you for watching. And we'll be back with a recap of that card. Hopefully, actually, it will be Sunday because you got that day off.
Yeah.
So we'll get it out just like we're doing today. Bam! All right, people. Coming up Thursday, we got a Wonder Woman review for you. So pay attention to that with some UMC. Until then, you can follow Keith on Spurlock.
At 1.
Keith Spurlock 1 on Twitter. I'm at Ray Taylor on Twitter and Instagram. Donate to the Patreon page because we love you and you love us. I hate to be a fucking capitalist scumbag piece of shit, but you show me how much you love me by how much you donate.
And how much you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's true.
And
Facebook.
And
all
comment.
The links
if you agree with this, comment. If you don't, comment.
For
if you
sure.
Tell us we're fucking idiots, and Ray looks like a gay wizard with that hat on.
As far as YouTube goes, I get it. You want to give us a thumbs down, but here's the thing: we're making picks and having dissenting opinions on something. Who are you disagreeing with, or is it just the idea of the show?
Tell us why you Tell us
is
why
it the
there's a thumb
idea
down.
of the show that's like, I hate the fact that this show exists, or is it
Do
like
you not like our faces?
thumbs? I can't believe Ray is such a fucking idiot every time he picks against Ronda
We
Rousey.
don't even know why you don't like us.
Yeah, just fucking tell us why you don't like us so I can ignore whatever criticism you have.
Yes.
InspiredDisorder.com for artwork and all the links to everything in case you forgot how to find shit on the internet. We're out of here, people. Have a great week. Peace to your mother.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.